In a world where no one can predict what the next move of an opponent is going to be, imagine an amateur poker player who lies about having a deadly disease just to get what he wants, and to some extent, he actually succeeds in that. But what was this disease, and why did he lie about it? What exactly was his purpose? He wasn't known to many, but this one scandal got him the recognition more than anything. And if you still didn't get who am I pointing towards, then hear me out on this. Poker player Rob Mercer lied his way to thousands of dollars by falsely claiming he had terminal cancer in hopes of receiving enough donations to enter the World Series of Poker tournament this summer. Mercer, of California, admitted to shamefully fabricating the lie during an interview with the Las Vegas Review-Journal, but made it apparent that he had no plans to return any of the donations he got, which are estimated to be worth at least from $30,000 up to a crazy $50,000. While talking about the whole situation, Mercer said, "I lied about having colon cancer. I don't have colon cancer. I used that to cover my situation. What I did was wrong. I shouldn't have told people I have colon cancer. I did that just as a spur-of-the-moment thing when someone asked me what kind of cancer I had." He further continued saying, "I'm sorry for not being honest about what my situation was. If I would have done that from day one, who knows what would have happened." If you're curious to know how he actually got started on it, then this is what you need to hear. Mercer launched a GoFundMe campaign in June last year to fund his desire of competing in the WSOP No Limit Hold'em World Championship, which costs around $10,000 in July of the same year. He raised about $12,500 from the fundraising page and received other private donations, including a free suite at the Bellagio. Among the donors was Cody Daniels, who actually deals with chronic illness. Of course, the whole situation was as shocking for him, or maybe more, as it is for you and I. While giving his opinion on it, Cody said, "Well, I learned a $2,500 lesson." He then continued by saying, "Sadly, my kindness was taken for weakness once again. Just a shame. That's all I can say. Hopefully GoFundMe peeps get their money back. Just sad, sad, sad." But the poker player did have the audacity to say that he was not planning on returning the money because he thought he had undiagnosed breast cancer, and the donations were originally made because he said he was sick. Like, what is this guy even up on? Crack. But the good thing is that people who were sending donations to Mercer did receive some notifications from the platform that they were going to be refunded. While giving their opinion on the whole situation, a GoFundMe spokesperson said, "GoFundMe has zero tolerance for the misuse of our platform and takes swift action against those who exploit the generosity of our community." The person also said that Mercer's account was removed from the platform as soon as the news came out that he wasn't doing anything but lying, adding, "We have removed this fundraiser for violating our terms of service. All donors have been fully refunded, and Rob Mercer has been banned from using the platform for any future fundraisers. Additionally, GoFundMe cooperates with law enforcement investigations of those formerly accused of wrongdoing." But how did his lie get caught in the first place? Of course, Mercer's confession was the latest twist in a bizarre tale that had captivated the poker community since questions about the validity of Mercer's illness were first raised publicly by budding poker influencer Doug Pascal Jr. probably a month prior. Pascal didn't know Mercer when he responded to him on X, formerly known as Twitter, in February last year. A recreational poker player from Martinez, California, who goes by the handle Snoop Doug on social media, Pascal saw a post from Mercer asking for help because he had cancer and offered to stake him in a tournament at Thunder Valley Casino in Lincoln, California. He responded and said, "I'm too sick right now, but I appreciate the offer," Pascal said. And that was it. However, in June 2023, Pascal received a message from Mercer urging him to spread the word about his GoFundMe page, which stated that Mercer had terminal cancer and was raising funds to enter the World Series of Poker main event. Pascal reached out to numerous well-known poker players, including Nick Bertucci, the originator and producer of the Hustler Casino Live poker stream. Bertucci heard Mercer's tale during a Twitter space and promised to cover the difference if Mercer didn't reach his goal of earning a huge $12,000. According to the GoFundMe website, Mercer raised $12,025 in part because of Bertucci's encouragement. He also got further private donations, and he and his father were treated to a suite at the Bellagio for several days. The Review-Journal published an article on Mercer entering the main event thanks to the kindness of the poker community. However, red flags were raised even before Mercer was eliminated a few hours into the event. According to Vertucci, Mercer was ungrateful for the suite and was also observed in the gambling pit by some of the wealthier donors. When Mercer was questioned about the optics and whether he was gambling with money intended for him to play the main event, Vertucci claimed Mercer became defensive. Mercer verified during his stay at the Bellagio that his father was detained by security before being released. The monetary value of a stay in a Bellagio suite is unclear. "We don't give information about guests or potential guests due to privacy reasons," a spokesperson for MGM Bellagio said. But Vertucci distanced himself from Mercer soon after the main event, and the two had a public falling out in August. "Deep inside, I just thought, I don't like this kid," Vertucci said on his YouTube show. Daniels and Mercer struck up a friendship last summer after connecting through Vertucci. During a break at the main event, Mercer went to a nearby cafe with Daniels and his mother to talk. After 20 minutes, Daniels walked away feeling suspicious. "He was very vague on the answers," Daniels said. "Nobody wanted to say it. It was fishy to us, and obviously we weren't the only ones." Pascal started to have doubts about Mercer's story after the World Series of Poker and received multiple phone calls from donors who expressed similar concerns. "Then I just started doing some research," Pascal said. "That's when I saw the quote-unquote proof, and I immediately got sick." When Mercer was first vetted by the poker community, he produced a note on mychart.org to his doctor asking for a copy of his cancer diagnosis. But the doctor never responded, and no one followed up with Mercer. Pascal, Vertucci, and others wrongly concluded that Mercer had provided adequate proof of his diagnosis and proceeded with publicizing his claim. However, Pascal requested him to provide proof again, and Mercer responded with a mychart.org notation that was remarkably identical to the one he used 2 months earlier to confirm his cancer diagnosis. After Pascal challenged him about the parallels in the notes, Mercer canceled his social media accounts and went into self-imposed isolation, generating further suspicions. "Obviously, I was just trying to keep up with my story," Mercer said. "I didn't want to get exposed because it looks bad. It does look bad. I lied. I'm not going to deny that. I lied. I should have just been transparent and comfortable with what was going on with me and tell people what was happening." As doubts about Mercer began to intensify, so did the internal conflict for those involved. Either Mercer was speaking the truth, or he was the target of a smear campaign while battling a fatal disease. Or he exploited poker players' emotions to defraud them of thousands of dollars. But we all know that he was not stating the truth and did lie about the whole situation. Further complicating matters, Mercer stated that while he lied about having terminal colon cancer, he made up the narrative because he was afraid to confess he might have breast cancer. The American Cancer Society estimates that men's lifetime risk of developing breast cancer is 1 in 833. Around 2,800 additional instances of breast cancer are predicted to be diagnosed in 2023. Mercer said he understands the strong reaction to his ruse. He said he hopes to pay back Daniels once he can get the money together. However, the poker community will not soon forget Mercer's deceit. One of the unintended consequences, according to Vertucci, is that it will make people like him more wary and hesitant to donate without further investigation. Let us know what you guys think about this in the comments below. See you in the next one.